Before we begin our podcast, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're recording on. For Cass, it's the Borragagal people, and for Hailey, it's the Dharawal people.
After 10,000 years, I'm free. It's time to conquer Earth. Hi there, this is not Jennifer Coolidge, and that was my audition for Rita Repulsa in the new Power Rangers Gay Force. It's all full of homosexuals. Anyways, I'm not sure if I can talk about that. So in the meantime, listen to Drag Me Out Official and talk about that with your friends.
This video is not sponsored by Jennifer Coolidge or Power Rangers, but supported by a flaming Midwestern homosexual with nothing better to do at this time.
And listen to the podcast, dumbass.
Now, a quick word from our unsponsored sponsors.
Do you want to go to sleep with a different celebrity every night? Do you ever think of smothering someone, but your pillow is too basic? Then we have the perfect pillowcases for you. Hero Huggers by Rennie. Hero Huggers by Rennie encourages testing on animals. According to the scientists at Drag Me Out University, they have proven results that people who purchase Hero Huggers by Rennie improve their sleep by 83.768%. Phones are ringing off the hook with orders, so get yours now. Or alternatively, go to Hero Huggers by Rennie on Etsy. Sleep soundly knowing your heroes are right next to you. Hero Huggers by Rennie, where heroes lie. No animals were harmed during the making of this commercial. No one at Drag Me Out Official has a science degree, but they have watched things about Scientology. No research has been done to support these statistics except our own biased opinion. Pillow not included.
You can start it.
Hello, welcome to Drag Me Out. I'm Hailey.
I'm Cass. All right. And we're going to talk some stuff. And we're going to talk shit, our usual shit, some drag race shit, new segment shit, what else? Drag race shit for however long Hailey deems this episode to be, lengthwise. So, been a couple of weeks. We had a very busy last week. We were so busy and so under pressure. My hair changed color. I went from brown to this. This is a foreshadowing of the future right here, kiddies. How's your week this week?
It was good.
Mhm.
I just sort of like coming down from the Drag Expo. Like I'm pretty sure I caught something from somebody.
Mhm.
Like, but it's not like a full cough or cold or so. It's just irritating. Like either be the cold or not. Like just pick a lane because I
Yeah.
seem to wake up like shit, and then by mid-afternoon I'm fine. Like it's gone away, but then at night picks up again. So
Yeah.
it's just more irritating than anything. I don't know. I think like, all right, I'm just gonna say it. The first day there was this air of disappointment. It was just shrouded over everything, I think. Like, I loved that there were so many queens on the Queen's Walk, but it was
Yeah.
very long.
It was.
It was a long walk. And I feel that the way that it was set up was all wrong. There was stuff missing. We were supposed to be in the VIP lounge. There was no flow to the event. Everybody who walked through those front doors walked to the pink carpet, stopped, and then sort of looked around. Like that's not what you
Yeah.
want. You want to be able to walk straight through. Like there should have been either stalls as soon as you walk through,
Mhm.
and you should have been able to walk through to the pink carpet or something like that. Like there should have been a flow. Even just put sticker feet. People follow feet.
Yeah.
Like an IKEA. Put it we love our IKEA, but there wasn't enough seating for the panels. There never is. Put more seats, more people will sit down.
Yep.
The VIP status that we claimed never to get again, but have now got twice, and for the third time in Melbourne, we got a lanyard and a tote bag. Don't even know where that tote bag is. I think you ended up with it, and I don't
Probably.
care. I don't want it.
Mhm.
Like at least we got a T-shirt last year from Melbourne.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get to go in an hour earlier, but big whoop.
We were
So
already there early anyway, so it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
like it just well, this is our booth that is behind us currently. And you know, it was our first, so there was like a few hiccups and we are trying to figure everything out and logistic wise. So yeah, just the first day, I was just really let down and I really tried to get out of that funk and I couldn't get out of it.
Mm.
Um, and I talked to a lot of the vendors around and they had the same feeling, especially anyone selling earrings, which was the two booths around us. Artist Alley didn't even know it was there. I walked through once when I went to go see Alaska and that was the only time that I walked through.
Mm.
No one made any money except for a few people that we know. And it was just poorly put together. I thought they learnt from last year. I feel bad for the American queens that come, because most of us go to see the American queens and the
You mean the
more
ones that were facing the blank fucking walls?
exactly. And I guess I get to what they were trying to do is to move them out the way because Detox was at the front on the Queen's Walk and it blocked everything. People couldn't figure out how to line up. And so I get that they were trying to move them out of the way, but like at least put them against the wall so they're facing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I just didn't understand the setup. I think that that really needs to be reevaluated. The stairs, why would you put stairs like that for a Queen's Walk?
No railings to hold on to.
No railings. A few people tripped until Jinx Monsoon was like, "No, you need to stand here and hold my hand and hold all the Queen's hands that are walking on this. On this, it's a safety risk." Sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's all the bad things. Good things is, you know, I got to meet. Who did I get to meet? Trinity was lovely. I got to meet Alaska. Bit standoffish.
Mm.
Yeah. I felt like she was over it, which is fair. Meeting a lot of
Yeah.
people, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't meet her until like Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, so like I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? Every time we walked past with the Queens and the Queens would scream Michael Douglas, she was very responsive.
Michael Douglas.
Mm.
Yeah. My disappointment is a little bit further earlier than yours. Mine was from the Friday night.
Yeah.
When we had to do the bump in. So we got there, you could only bump in for a 6-hour period, which isn't a long time. And considering that, let's say 30-40% of the people who had booths and were going to set up were probably at the opening performance. So they were going to have to bump in. And I do know one booth in particular where they had to bump in around it. So they started the bump in, they went to the performance, and then they came back. They got there just before we did, and they finished up their bump in.
Yeah.
So when we got to the ICC, there was no one there that we could talk to, you know, you'd think, oh, okay, let's just find out where the open door is. And because people would have to be coming and going, right?
And there was like 400 conventions going on at the time. Why wouldn't there be security directing people?
Well, we ended up, so there was a door that we couldn't get into, and then a guy and his wife walked out, so we snuck in. And we met up with a security guard and we said, oh, we're doing the bump in for Drag Expo. And he goes, oh, it's up there, blah, blah, blah. So we followed his directions and you had to go through another set of glass doors and they were locked and there was no one there. So we went out onto the balcony and we still had no idea what floor it was on. That was the other thing. When we got the instructions, it didn't tell us what level the expo was on. So we were trying to guess on the Friday night, and then we finally bumped into someone and we said, oh, look, we're doing the bump in for Drag Expo. And he's like, it's all the way down the end. And then you've got to go up to the 4th level. And then, you know, you should be able to get in, not a problem, which was true. We didn't have a problem getting in once we got to level 4. And once we got inside, like you could just walk in and out. But so we were told in the email that the bump in was from 6 till midnight. And we got there a little bit late, but we didn't really have to do an awful lot with what we had at the time. And so we were talking to the lovely ladies, the Say Hello and Ham's maid next to us. And they were trying to get themselves sorted out as best as they could for the night. We had just finished putting up the last of what we needed to put up, and it was at about 10 past 11. And then the security guard came up and said to us, you need to be out by 11:30. And we were like, but it says 11:59. He's like, you've got to be out by 11:30.
Right.
And we were like, well, that's just not cool. And then the next morning we walked in at 8 o'clock and there was just the damn thing hadn't even started, and then there was just this whole sense of disappointment because as soon as you walked in, it was almost like you were walking into a factory, but nothing was happening.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I understand that they couldn't have everything hanging from the ceilings and all of that, but
They didn't have that at Melbourne. It just was set out better. It wasn't set
yeah.
out great, but it was set out better.
Yeah, I mean, I think if I recall correctly, you basically bumped into a stall as soon as you walked in.
Almost,
And what they should have done was they should have gone, okay, let's have the Queen's Walk starting from like here or whatever, and actually have a Queen's booth as soon as you walk in. Because whoever gets that gets prime spot for people coming and going. Oh, such and such is there. We can see them. Oh, we should see them before we leave. You know, so whoever gets that, that's prime real estate right there. And I understand that there weren't enough booths for the area, but then having said that, the VIP lounge was non-existent. It was basically just a bunch of tables and stools that anybody could sit at. There was only one place to eat, so you know you were trapped for food.
There was 2. I got my dick waffle.
Oh, yeah, but if you wanted something else other than that,
why would you?
Why would you?
Yeah.
And there was a lot of empty space that could have been filled with food vendors of some kind. I understand they couldn't be food trucks because of where it was located. It was on the 4th floor.
But
incidentally,
there could have been a service elevator that we were unaware of.
Probably because they would have exhibitions and all of that. But
yeah.
Having said that, you cannot have an exhibition for drag queens on the 4th floor.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially when you had, I think there were 3 or 4 other conventions that were going on at the same time. So the lifts were always occupied. In order to go down for a cigarette, a vape, whatever it was, you had to go down escalators. And you still had to walk. These people were in heels and corsets and God knows what else, you know, and they were uncomfortable at the best of times. And then to add that, I mean, I don't want to compare Melbourne and Sydney because let's face it, Sydney's a much better place to be. But the access for being able to go outside, even to get fresh air, if you wanted to get fresh air, was so simple. You walked out, you walked across, you walked into a courtyard, done. It wasn't that simple in Sydney. And you and I have had this conversation, and I said to you, and I will say this, and if anybody from ITD events or Drag Expo are watching it, like, this is with no disrespect at all, but I will say this. You had 8, nearly 9 months to learn from any mistakes that you made in Melbourne, and you didn't. In fact, it was worse.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if
And
there's a different team that run Melbourne and then there's a different team that runs Sydney and they collab at one point. But
possibly, but there was no one learned a lesson here.
no.
And Artist Alley could have been, you might as well have just called it Siberia.
They put up balloons with Artist
To-
Alley at like 2 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
And then took it down about an hour later.
Yeah, it was very confusing.
Yeah. And you would think with the price that they charged for even our small booth, so whatever the price that we paid and whatever the price that the people in Artist Alley paid was nowhere near what some of the bigger ones would have paid, that they would have been able to go, you know what, maybe we can do X, Y, Z. And, you know, I personally think it should have almost been like in a huge square with the Queen's Walk going up the middle. Almost like, you know, when you go to some parts of the Easter show to the show bags,
Mm-hmm.
and some of it's just in a dirty, great big square, and you walk through the middle of it, and then you go to each show
Yeah, I
bag that you
agree.
want to buy.
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be something like that?
It was big enough to create a space for the panels on the
Mhm.
side. It was yeah, big enough to with the bigger queens, the American queens where the lines were quite long, there would be enough space.
Yep.
Yeah, there was heaps of options that would have been 10 times better than that.
Yep.
Yeah, I just it's disappointing because this event could be big, but it doesn't even need to be at the ICC. Put it somewhere else on one
thought-
level.
I thought maybe like the Horden Pavilion.
Is that outside?
No, it's the one at the showgrounds at
Oh,
Moore
okay.
Park.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say as long as it's not outside because I'm freezing.
No,
all the
you can
time.
do that on one level. You can do that on one level, and they can actually have like stadium seating. So,
Okay.
you know, if there was going to be a performer on the stage, like people would be able to sit and watch it.
Yeah.
If they didn't want to stand and watch it.
Which is
But
fair
we
because
did.
that's the other thing. You're standing and you're watching these queens perform, but if someone's in front of you, you can't see.
Couldn't see.
Like,
No.
same with the Queen's Walk. Let us
Yeah.
sit down.
Yeah. We had to go
Like a
almost
runway.
to, we actually got kind of lucky. My wife got some great photos of the queens as they were heading off the stage. So,
See,
and
I
they
was on
were,
the other side, so I got them coming onto the stage.
yeah, and they were all milling around. So the missus got some really great photos of like the queens talking to each other and stuff. But yeah, hopefully we're at 11 weeks until Melbourne. Maybe hopefully they'll get it together by then, because I don't know, maybe because we had such a good time in Melbourne, and this time we had responsibility. Maybe if we didn't have the responsibility of having the booth, then maybe it may have been a more enjoyable experience. But then when you see it from the other side, instead of just as the spectator, but as the participant, you would hope that the company who are running it would want the participants to be as comfortable as humanly possible. And if you're a queen and you're a US queen, you probably were the most comfortable you could possibly be. But it was a little bit of a struggle street. The only thing that I kept saying the whole weekend was, thank God we didn't have anything to sell. And then I sold something.
Yeah, then you did something.
Yeah. But if we had something to sell, we were going to struggle.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But for the downside, there has to be an upside. And the upside was, yep, we got to meet Trinity. And Jinx sang happy birthday to me. We got to meet Alaska. As standoffish as she was, she's probably tired. Like they'd been performing for like a week.
Like I don't blame her.
We were tired. We were tired. And we got to meet.
Sorry, I forgot to meet. I met Bagger, who was lovely. I had
We had
so
a
many
fun-
conversations with her.
We had a lovely couple of chats with Bagger. Bagger was actually the first international queen that we met. So the Melbourne crew and my wife and I went out for a cigarette, and the first person we bumped into was Bagger.
Hmm.
And we had a fantastic conversation with her. And then we had some lovely chats with her after that as well. But we met, and some of them remembered.
Oh yeah, for
You know.
sure. And we
Okay.
got a few interviews, so we'll be
Mhm.
popping them in and out of the podcast, and I'll be popping them probably on shorts on YouTube and stuff like
Yep.
that. I've just actually finished downloading all of them onto my computer, so I haven't actually looked at them, but we've got about, I think, at least 10.
Yeah, and they're all local queens.
No. Well,
Are you? Yeah,
I got Anita Wiglet and Beverly Kills,
local.
and I should have got Bagger. I was almost like gonna ask her, and then but we'd packed up.
Mm.
So I completely forgot.
You know what? I had moments with her on Insta, and she actually remembered when I was
Mm.
talking to her about it. So I might try and hit her up.
Okay.
Because she was just, and you can choose to put this in or not, she was possibly one of the loveliest people I've ever met from any part of Drag Race.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, except
She
Anita
was
Wiglet was lovely.
Anita Wiglet fucking cracked me up.
Mm.
That rainbow wiggle. What? When I told her that I referred to her as the rainbow wiggle, she thought it was the funniest thing she's ever fucking heard in her life, and I don't believe she was being polite. And a friend of mine who came with us on the Sunday in particular, every time I met a queen, fucking told them that it was my birthday, and they just went into overdrive being like super nice. And but the usual, Molly, Bev, Pamara. I had a really good chat with Pamara Fifth. Maxi and Vanity, who incidentally, Vanity was so drunk. So drunk, you can actually see photos that my wife took of her lounging on the lounge that they had in their booth, like slinked up against me. Like, I think I was holding her up for a little bit of it. And they were talking so much. My wife was the one who had to go, you've actually got somebody else waiting. And they're like, wait for it. Like, they can wait. Maxi was her usual great self. Maxi was stone cold sober, but Vanity and Vanity is awesome. And I tell you, I met Space Horse, and you know that I've wanted to meet Space Horse for a really long time. And we were talking, and we both stopped dead when we found out that Vanity was performing on stage. And when we turned around and Vanity was doing her performance, both of us, without even like indicating to each other anything, both put our hands to our hearts and went, because she's so illuminating. Like she's radiating. She just radiates on stage. And like Jinx performed, and Alaska performed. Alaska doing Lucy LaDuca's "Let Loose" was fucking hysterical with the film clip for "Let Loose."
Literally didn't see one performance.
Oh, it was so good. And Trinity performed. Trinity was great, and Monet did the spoken word lip sync.
Didn't see anything.
But the thing that disturbed me was you had the two people who did the spoken word lip sync in the same building, and only one of them did it. Like Jinx was there. But we still
depends what she wants to do.
True, but we still we met some very, very lovely people, and we got to hang out with the Melbourne crew, our lovely Ego, and Lady Burrito herself, Ivana Kebab, and the Jane Doe.
Is it
And the
the
lovely
Jane Doe
Matthew.
or is it Jane Doe?
I'm going to go with the Jane Doe because I'm pretty sure that's what it is on Insta.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. The Jane Doe. Follow.
Yep.
Up and coming
Please.
drag queen.
Yes. Yes, made her debut last weekend. And of course, the lovely partner of Ego and Rhiannon.
Hi,
Riri.
Rhiannon.
Hi, Rhiannon.
Follow her
Uh,
for porridge content on TikTok.
And her cooking content, I think she
And
cooks
she
as
just
well.
posts food. That's it.
Yeah. Rhiannon's _still_deadlifts.
Yeah, I thought there was a still in there.
Yeah. And we also saw the very, 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 very lovely Carla from Bankstown again, who did a little something for us. Did a little something for us on video, and as did Trinity the Tuck Taylor. And
Which she suggested that. I didn't even ask.
bless her heart.
Bless your heart.
And the burrito from Melbourne herself, Ivana Kebab, did something for us as well. And so did Charismatic.
Oh, I did see some. I've been off social media lately. Fuck, I'm over it. But anyway,
Yeah.
I did see something because when you're chatting, I don't want to come in and read the messages because then you don't see the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just sort of let you chat.
The lovely Charismatic gave us a shout out on her stories on Insta as well.
Oh, that's nice of her. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was our experience. Maybe in the distant future, we may look at doing something else again. But as for Melbourne, no booth.
Mm-mm.
No booth. We just want to go and have some fun.
I want to drink. I want to have fun. And I want to be hungover most days without having to talk to anybody.
From the soju.
Oh, no, that made me break out so bad. So no, I'm gonna have to stick to something else. But Rhiannon's already got my plans.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to go on. Okay, so we'll go on to your week. So we've spoken about Drag Expo. That's all I want to speak about it this week. I think we've shit on it enough. I think we need to just move on. Maybe we'll shit on it again next week. Who knows? Something will pop up.
Yep.
So we'll go into your week and then we'll do my musings.
Okay. My week was actually really a non-event. I was on leave until Wednesday. I went back to work on Wednesday. I was feeling a bit under the weather, but I pushed through. And then Thursday morning, I woke up and I'd felt like I'd been hit by a fucking train. And
Probably not use that analogy. Maybe.
okay.
Different
Well,
one.
okay. I felt like I was hit by a bus.
Much better.
The throat was sore. I felt like I had a head cold. My voice was going. I was so sick. So I didn't end up working because I felt like I'd swallowed razor blades. And then I got to Thursday night and I sent a message to my boss going, I can't do it on Friday. And I woke up worse on Friday. This is pretty much the best that my voice has been for the last 3 or 4 days. It was ridiculous. So yeah, I went to the football last night and it was actually warmer outside in the stadium than it was like walking to the car in the car park.
That's because there's people around you and shit.
Well, there wasn't a lot of people around us because it's an 80,000 seat stadium and only 12,000 people turned up.
Because gold.
Because
All inside.
And half the players are off for Origin anyway.
Was that the game that someone had a seizure?
Yeah, it was really disturbing.
So, because there's no footage of it, they won't show it?
No. So what happened was about 66 minutes in, he did a hit up. There was nothing to it. He kind of walked off and then collapsed. And Mum goes, oh, gee, it looks like he hurt himself. And she was doing something and I looked up and I went, shit, he's having a seizure. And she went, what do you mean? And then Mum turned around and he was still convulsing. And so everyone ran and all of the players ran. And you know what? God love them. They got around him so no one could see what was happening and turned their back so they couldn't see it either while the medics worked on him. The game was stopped for about 15, 20 minutes.
But yeah, anyway. Fun times. Let's move on to my musings. So,
please, your musings.
I had a weird thing with words this week where when you teach someone to read the English language and you realize how fucked up it actually is and how it doesn't make sense at all. So then I digressed and I was thinking about stuff. And then I was like, what about if some of the alcohol was pronounce the way it was spelt. I'm gonna say some of them are easy, but I'm gonna say the alcohol, and then you tell me what it actually is supposed to be said.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so starting with the easy ones. Merlot.
Merlot.
Yep. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yep. Pinot Gris.
Pinot Gris.
This one's an easy one. Champagne.
Champagne.
Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
There we go.
Raja's favorite drink.
Carlton Draught. I don't understand those ones. I don't understand draught being spelt
Mhm.
the same way as draft, but
Uh-huh.
pronounced. I don't know. Anyway, and then
Mhm.
obviously the gayest one, to haze.
Tuies.
Glenfiddich.
Glenfiddich.
Jameson.
Jameson.
Oh, this one's hard. Vueve Cliquot.
Verve Clicquot.
Moet and Chandon.
Moe and Chandon.
All right. Okay. This one. Udall.
UDL.
Yeah.
Yeah! From the non-drinker. Yes.
And my last one, which I always pronounce this way because it's fun. Jose Cuervo.
Jose Cuervo.
Yes. Well, I understand that most of them are foreign.
French.
Foreign.
French.
Well, not all of them are French, but some of
No,
them are
but
French.
I think about 90% of yours were French.
But yeah, just a bit weird with the English language.
What about Pinot Noir?
Yeah, I didn't know how to say Noia, but yeah, okay.
Yeah.
'Cause I had
Pinot Noir.
I had the Pinot Gris, so I was like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Fun times. Anyway, that's my musings this week. It was just weird.
Wonderful.
Weird ways to say things.
Excellent. So, do you have a pancreas bursting?
You can go first, though. Give me time to think about mine.
I'm just going to make it short, sharp, and to the point.
Oh, my pancreas.
Something gets done for you. You do not acknowledge it. You ghost. These two people on the screen right now, unhappy, extended huge hospitality to the person, and we have heard absolutely nothing from said person. You're done in our books. Plain and simple.
I have no
We
idea
bent
what
over-
you're talking about.
We bent over backwards for somebody. I'm just leaving it at somebody. We bent over backwards for somebody to help them out. Did not ask for anything in return at all. And haven't even received a thank you or anything like that. Ungrateful asshole. The end.
Okay.
How is that for diplomacy?
You know, confrontation makes me uncomfortable.
It's not confrontation, and I'm not singling. I haven't mentioned the person. I'm just saying, if they're listening to this episode, they'll figure out who they are pretty soon. Shame on you. No good. No bueno. Done. Big pancreas explosion.
Pancreas bursted.
Just gonna be like real general. Bullies. Don't like you. I don't like people being bullies. I don't get it. I understand that bullying is a projection of how you actually feel about either yourself or just in general in life. You're miserable.
Mhm.
Stop it. because I didn't think at my age that I would experience this again. But yeah, like it's really thrown me. Not because I give a shit about what they think about me, but it just makes my life more difficult for something I didn't do, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just bullies in general. Fuck off. That's it.
Well, I mean, you're talking to somebody who spent the majority of their early parts of their life being bullied.
That place was toxic as shit, though.
Yeah,
I
but I'm
got
talking about
bullied
even before that.
before what?
Before,
Oh, yeah. No,
like
like
when I was growing up.
I was
I've
bullied in primary school and high school. Different, not like it wasn't a constant thing. It was generally like one or two people that had an issue with me. Like it escalated physically like once or twice, I think, but nothing like that was like torturous for 6 years. Like it wasn't.
See, I had that.
Yeah.
I had like the same 3, 4, 5 girls. I'm trying to remember how many there were. Let's just call it 4. When we had to line up out front of our classroom after recess and lunch, because there would be no teacher there until the teacher came to let everybody into the classroom, that's when they would unleash. It was very difficult for them to do in the playgrounds because there were quite a few teachers who were on playground duty. So it was, from the moment that the lunch bell or the recess bell rang to the moment the teacher got there, which was actually a decent amount of time. It was like the worst 5 or 6 fucking minutes of my life. Used to just get pushed around and punched around and God knows what else. It's just.
And see, like, I feel that your bullying and my bullying, although still has the same effect, were different. Like, I feel that your bullying was because they were evil shunts. And my bullying was I was dating someone that this particular girl liked. So
Right.
I got the brunt of her jealousy, basically. Not my fault you were ugly, Melissa Beckett. Yeah, I'll call you out. Just talked to you on Facebook the other day. You're still fucking ugly.
2 of them were Amanda Brooks and Linda Wilson. 2 of my 4. But
not Pippa Froggatt? Okay.
Fuck off. So one time I used to have really long hair and we cut it a little bit shorter than normal. God, I think I was about 8 or 10. And you can put this in if you want. And what they did was, because I looked different, they went around to every boy in my classroom and said, "Do you want to be Cassandra's boyfriend?" And when every single one of them said no, they would just be yelling out, "Such and such said no." And they did that the whole way. A class of, say, 30, and it was pretty much an even mix. Like they literally marched me up to 15 of the boys in the class and said, "Look at her. Do you want to be her boyfriend?"
Gross. I reckon they've got karma now.
Oh, they do. I know they do.
See, it doesn't pay to be a bully.
I feel really good about the situation they're in compared to the situation I'm in. I'm good.
Didn't you mention one has like 12 baby daddies?
Something like that.
Oh, okay. Not shaming, you do you, but maybe stop doing other people.
Yeah, you're a slut rag. Yeah.
Not slut shaming, we're sex positive.
We are, but at the same time, you're a slut rag.
They're fucking cowards. Bullies are cowards.
Yeah.
Let's move on to RuPaul's. 2 episodes we need to talk about.
3 and 4.
3 and 4. Remind me. 3. I know who we lost.
Supermarket challenge.
Supermarket challenge. I already knew this was not Kasha Davis's challenge. But do you agree that she should have gone? I do not. Track record wise, I do not.
No. You know why she won't? Because of who she voted for.
Who'd she vote for?
Not Nation Lopez. The other person who was in the bottom 2 from episode 2.
Isn't that Darian
Kahana?
again? Okay. Hasn't she been in the
No,
bottom
no,
the
no, no, no.
entire
It was
time?
Kahana.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
She voted for Kahana. I can't remember why she said it, but because there was one other person, obviously Naisha voted for Kahana, and there was one other. And they said, who was it? And Kasha was like, it was me.
Yeah.
And said the reasons why, which, as I said, I can't remember. And I think that was the reason why she was voted out. Like, you could have she had one bad week. Darian was twice by then. Like, this track record thing is fucking bullshit. And I have said it before, and I will continue to say it. If I'm going to be in the top 3, I want 2 great people with me in the top fucking 3. I want the coin.
Yeah.
$200,000
worst.
I want the 2 worst in the top 3 with me. Because as I said in the last episode, all I would need to do is go on stage and fart, and I should get my 200K.
But the thing is that someone like Jimbo, who's quite strong, she's a front runner here.
Mhm.
If she had taken out, say it got to this episode and she did not take out Darian Lake,
Mhm.
then all the girls would have been like, right, fair game. Jimbo, when you're in the bottom, you're out. You're done.
Yeah.
Because they're getting rid of the competition. So the track record works up until a certain point. Otherwise, if you're leading and a front runner, you're going to get voted out if you slip up.
Yeah.
So I get why they do the track record, but then also I'm with you. Like, get rid of the competition, take out the Sasha Colbys.
I'm stacking the deck very, very much in my favor. Layla Ree slightly redeemed herself from the fucking bag thing from her season.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't hard to do.
Let's just cut to the chase. Jessica Wilde.
So,
Jessica Wilde won because she won the lip sync.
yes, I won the 30,000.
Won the 30,000, which incidentally was more than the winner of her season.
That's funny.
Because I think the winner of that season only won like 20 grand, 25,000. So Jessica Wilde.
Her runways are good. She's funny.
She's doing well in the challenges.
Mm.
I think it's at this point in time, it's a 2-horse race between her and Jimbo.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So who have we lost? We've lost
Monica Beverly Hills.
Yep.
Naisha. Mrs. Kasha Davis up until this point because we haven't spoken about episode 4 yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So after the Heidi not being very miscongenial.
No.
Don't know what's going on with Heidi.
Sometimes they just get in their own head though.
Yeah, I think Heidi was like coming back to be like, I'm the winner, and then has not been winning. So it's kind of kicked her. Here's my top 3.
Okay.
I want to do my top 3.
Sure.
I was going to say Mrs. Kasha Davis, but no, that's not it. Jimbo.
Yep.
Jessica Wilde.
Yep.
The third's the hard one.
Mhm.
I'm going with Heidi in Closet. However, James Mansfield is slowly creeping in there.
Mm-hmm.
See that little dark horse popping up.
Yeah. So I agree with you on the first 2, and I pop James Mansfield penciled into the top 3.
Yeah.
Like, my position hasn't changed since the last episode with James Mansfield.
How come Kahana and James Mansfield, it's very hard to say. Mansfield.
James Mansfield.
Yeah. Is she rivals with Kahana? Is there something going on
Really?
there?
They both live in Vegas now. Because
Yeah,
James moved from wherever to Vegas. I think they're just fucking around.
Oh, okay. Because it was a bit tense.
No, Mrs. Kasha Davis was episode 3.
That's what I'm saying. She's gone. We knew she was. I didn't think she would go. I thought Darian would have gone.
I honestly thought Darian would have gone too. But, as I said, the fact that Mrs. Kasha Davis was the only other one to vote for Kahana, I think the others ones thought she's going strategic and trying to get rid of like the strongest one. Let's get rid of her. I actually think that was a retaliation vote myself. So then we move on to episode 4, which is the movie trailer, TV show.
Yeah, like a sitcom. I think it was a sitcom.
Right.
Like
so they were
just- yeah.
separated into 3 groups.
Mhm.
The challenge was a TV show challenge. And so group 1 was Jimbo,
Mhm.
Jessica Wilde, and Candy Muse.
Yep.
Yep. The next group was
Alexis.
Heidi in Closet,
Oh, yep.
Lala Ree. I can't remember the third. Whoever's left over.
Whoever's left over from Alexis, Darian, and James.
So Alexis, Darian, and James were in their group,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Kahana. So it was
I forgot she was
Kahana,
even there.
right? So it was Kahana, Lala Ree, and Heidi in Closet.
Mhm.
And so Jimbo and they did that Run Queen Run. Was that the one?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was cute.
Yeah. Well, she
I was
won.
not. Well, yeah. I wasn't overly impressed with all 3 of them, and then the one with Heidi in Closet, excuse me, Kahana and Lala Ree was. Which one did they do?
I don't know. I can only remember the island one.
Okay, and
Oh,
then
they did the kidnapping. The stupid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sniffing the tucking panties gives you power or something. And then the other 3 did. They got lost on an island. They did a version of Lost where they got lost on an island, and it turns out that famous celebrities were there hiding, and they weren't really dead, and whatnot. So then, we find out that Jimbo is the winner of the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimbo has to lip sync against Chanel
Oh, yeah.
from season 1. That was lovely to see her. She's not changed.
No.
That's a great doctor you've got there, Chanel. And so they lip synced. So it was 3 in the bottom this time. It was Darian, James, and Alexis Michelle. So before the lip sync even happens, this is the bit that I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Darian Lake is a lot thinner because she lost weight, right? She got even thinner because Alexis fucking Michelle threw her under the bus on stage in front of everybody. Said words to the effect of, "I'm sorry, I'll do much better next time. I should have spoken up. It wasn't my idea. It was Darian's."
And then said it again in Untucked to the back of the room.
But here's the thing. When she did it, she goes, "I hope you didn't think that I was throwing you under the bus." And Darian's like, "No, I didn't think that." And I'm like looking at the TV yelling, "Lies! Lies, Manelli! Darian's a liar, and you did throw her under the fucking bus."
For sure. 100% you threw her under the bus.
Oh my God. She was standing there. You know how you see some people at a bus stop and the buses are like half a kilometer up the road and they've got their hand out the whole time, like trying to signal the bus over? That was Alexis Michelle. Alexis Michelle, her like checking the app on her phone going, the bus is in the suburb somewhere, stuck a hand out even before you could see the bus and waited for the bus to run Darian over. Like, that's how much she, and as soon as the bus got closed, Alexis just went, push, and Darian went straight under.
As a judge, what that says to me is that you didn't have anything better.
Exactly. And then she was like, oh, I should have put my ideas forward, or I should have said something, or whatever it was. Well, you know what? You had no problem speaking up every other fucking time. So why did you decide this time was going to be it? I'll tell you why, because she realized it was going to be a shit thing. And it was the only way she was going to get rid of somebody like Darian or James.
And then
Sacrifice herself for the bottom three to make sure one of them goes. That's exactly what happened. And what makes it even worse, I don't know why, I have a glue stick. What made it even worse was she did it in front of everybody else there who could have voted. And those stupid fucking idiots did not vote her out when they had the opportunity to do it, because they watched her do it to Darian. And there is no way that she would not do it to one of those others. They fucking saw it and they kept the bitch in. Stupid. And then this is where it comes down to, the track record. Darian got voted out, in case people didn't figure that out, right? They're like, oh, the track record. Darian was in the bottom 3 times and all of this other stuff. You all watched the accident happen.
Mhm.
You all saw it happening. You're telling me that you think that she's not going to do it to you first opportunity that she gets? Stupid. Stupid. Every single one of them deserve. Anybody who voted for Darian and did not vote for Alexis should fucking go home right now. Because if they don't, Alexis Michelle is going to make sure that those get fucking voted out.
in Untucked, when she said, I am here for my sisters and myself. Which one? Which one are you here for?
Right?
Can't be for both.
No.
Heidi, you're not being very miscongenial.
No.
I don't know what's going on. Get out of your head. You're a great drag queen. Stop it. Knock it off.
Okay.
Knock your bratty tantrums off. This is what it is. Alexis, Michelle, and Heidi, you're both having bratty tantrums because things aren't going your way.
Yeah.
And
But I yelled at the TV so much when it happened. And then when they voted Darian off, I just looked at everybody. I went, all of you deserve to get fucking voted off now. All of you deserve it. Because you had your opportunity to get rid of her after witnessing what she did.
Yeah.
She wasn't going by track record. Eventually, Darian was going to pick herself up. And that's direct competition for Alexis Michelle.
Yeah.
Point my glue stick at all of the ones who voted for Darian and did not vote for Alexis. Mind you, James Manfield just sitting there the whole time going, yeah, it's not going to be me. What's that whole thing? If you commit a crime and you can always tell who the guilty person is in a prison cell, they're the one who's sleeping. That was James Mansfield. James Mansfield snoring a little head off. But no. All of them deserve what is going to happen to them because they did not take the opportunity to get rid of Alexis when they did.
Yeah.
Backstabbing, two-faced cow, but Alexis Michelle, they had the opportunity to do it and they didn't do it. Like, stupid. Next week's episode is the Snatch Game.
I saw.
But it's the Snatch Game of love.
Ugh.
I'm not a fan of the Snatch Game of love.
It's better than no Snatch Game, though.
Yeah, but there will never be a no Snatch Game.
I know. But still.
The Snatch Game of love. Whatever.
I want to know what all this is about. What's this all about? What is it? What's this?
Did you know?
No.
That
What's it all about?
Catherine Zeta-Jones is married to Michael Douglas?
I did know that, but only since last week. Because I've had how many? 1, 2, 3 drag queens yelling it at me.
Yep.
For a space of about 3 days.
Yeah. Even when we're in the middle of interviewing.
Yep.
Yeah. There was nothing more disconcerting than hearing Michael Douglas.
I can't yell that because I have people sleeping in my house, but I would
Yeah.
generally yell it back. It was how we found each other whilst we were in the chemist. There was a lot of confused people of a different origin in
Mhm.
the chemist as we're all
Mhm.
screaming Michael and the other half is screaming Douglas.
Yes. it's the Marco Polo of the drag world.
Yes. Even screaming it at the arcade area as well to try and find people.
Yep. So we have adopted the mascot that is Michael Douglas. So every now and then, we're just going to start talking about Michael Douglas, okay? And today is day one. So Michael Kirk Douglas, named after his father, the actor Kirk Douglas, who was in the homoerotic movie Spartacus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, was born in New Jersey in 1944. Okay. And just to make things really, really clear to those who did not know, Michael Douglas is married to Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Catherine Zeta-Jones,
Oh.
she leaves beneath the lasers. Oh.
Okay. Who at one point was one of the most beautiful women on the planet. And you know what?
I want to
She still
interrupt.
is pretty hot.
She
Yeah.
is. Yeah, I totally wouldn't kick her out of bed. Anyway,
Yep.
new segment to the new segment. We
Yep.
watch a Michael Douglas movie each week.
Done.
Give it a little review. I haven't
Done.
seen all of them. I actually unintentionally watched one today with Michael Douglas. Didn't
What'd you
even
watch?
know he was in it. Ant-Man, the Quantum Realm. Forgot
Yeah,
he was in it.
yeah. He's the
Yeah.
father. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but let's go in chronological.
we can do that.
Yeah.
We can do that. Okay. So it turns out that even though they have a 25-year age difference, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones are born on the same date.
Really?
Yeah, the 25th of September.
Oh, fun fact.
Okay. Fun facts. Okay, so here is another fun fact. All right. So Michael Douglas is a 2-time Academy Award winner. Okay. The first one was he was a producer on the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which won Best Picture for that year.
Mm-hmm.
So as a producer, he gets an Academy Award. And then he got an Academy Award for male lead actor for playing the part of Gordon Gekko in Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So another fun fact, when Catherine Zeta-Jones won her Academy Award for supporting actress for Chicago, she actually completed the trifecta of Kirk Douglas, Michael Douglas, Catherine Zeta-Jones Douglas. All three of them have won Academy Awards. Mm-hmm. I think Kirk Douglas's is maybe a Lifetime Achievement Award. But so Michael Douglas has gone through therapy for sex addiction. He was accused of a couple of things. So we still think that he's okay because they were never substantiated. So in 2010, this is how it all ended up a bonding moment. So in 2010, Michael Douglas came out saying that he had throat cancer. It turned out that he actually had tongue cancer, and he claims that the reason why he had tongue cancer was from performing oral sex on women.
This is a thing.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
it's a thing. But anyway, go on.
We're assuming that Catherine Zeta-Jones's No Place is radioactive.
Or it's so beautiful.
It's the Chernobyl.
That only one man is allowed to be, I don't know, whatever.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you some other facts. Okay, so he's a five-time primetime Emmy Award winner.
Yep.
Or Golden Globe. I can't remember. But so he's actually a friend of the LGBTQIA plus community. He also won a primetime Emmy in 2013 for playing Liberace in the made-for-TV movie Behind the Candelabra, which was based on the memoirs of Liberace's live-in lover for a 6-year period. His name was Scott Thorson. Okay. I actually just watched it again the other day, and he is so deserving of it. He was also nominated for 2 Emmy Awards, unsuccessful, for the Netflix show The Kaminsky Method, which is a very good show. Very, very good show. So what we are going to do is we are going to do a retrospective of Michael Douglas's movies. He was also in 3 movies with Kathleen Turner and Danny DeVito, which were Romancing the Stone, Jewel of the Nile, and The War of the Roses. Okay. So Jewel of the Nile gave us the #1 hit by Billy Ocean, When the Going Gets Tough, the Tough Get Going, of which all 3 of them, Danny DeVito, Kathleen Turner, Michael Douglas, are in the film clip
Okay.
as pretend backup dancers, backup singers for Billy Ocean while he's actually performing the song. Okay. So what we're going to do is we've now agreed that we're going to do Michael Douglas retrospective movies, and we're going to talk about them. Michael Douglas is also in a very good movie called Falling Down. He's equally as good as a dramatic actor as he is a comedy actor. Very, very good. So we at Drag Me Out have adopted the mascot that is Michael Douglas.
You can get a Michael Douglas shirt on our
You
website.
can get exactly. You can get a Michael Douglas t-shirt on our website at dragmeout.com.au.
Yes,
Do we own the AU? Yep.
we own the
And so to Ego, Ivana, Ree, Matt, Jack, Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas.
Also, another interesting fact. So he was the producer on One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and his father, Kirk Douglas, wanted to be in the movie, and he told his father no. His own
Why?
father. He didn't believe that he would be of any benefit to the film.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So we have decided that we are going to harass Michael Douglas to the point where he probably puts out a restraining order of some kind against us, or
That's our goal.
blocks
That's our
us on
goal.
all social media.
That's our
So any of you who are listening or watching, hashtag Michael Douglas, at Michael Douglas, do whatever you can. We are going into Michael Douglas overdrive to the point where we will not rest until we get a mention from him in some way, shape, or form. Let's do it. Michael Douglas!
Hi, we're with Anita Wigler.
Sorry, my official title is the extremely sexually attractive Anita Wigler.
I apologize so much. So we're a small podcast based in Sydney and Wollongong, and we just promote local drag queens, and they come on the show. And we love you. Cass is going to be super jealous, but bad luck, she's not here. So how was your Drag Expo? Are you loving Sydney?
It's been so good. I love Sydney. I'm lucky to get to come here quite often now. And it's been so fun. Everyone's so nice. And we've sold lots of t-shirts, so it's a win-win-win.
That's great.
I'll be able to afford to fly home instead of swimming.
Are you doing Melbourne as well this year?
No, sadly, I'm in the UK. Well, later on this year, so I missed the dates, unfortunately.
Well, the life of a jet setter.
I know. The air mile.
I know. First world problem. Well, I'm glad that I got to meet you at Sydney then.
Thank you.
And yeah, so just so excited to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much.
How was your RuPaul's experience? Great.
It was amazing. The only problem is that both RuPaul and Brooklyn, they chose the wrong drag queen to win. So
That's correct.
That was the only issue. But apart from that, it was brilliant.
I was rooting for you the whole way.
Oh, me too. But it just turns out I rooted myself.
Well, thank you so much for coming over. I know you got a busy booth, so I'll let you go with some quick snippets. I'll follow. We're following you on Instagram.
Oh,
but
they
this,
drag me out.
Drag me out.
Hashtag ad.
All right. Enjoy.
Lovely to meet
Thank you so much.
So we just want to thank everybody for watching and listening again. We especially want to thank our little Melbourne family for sticking up for putting up with us and helping us out a little bit. So thank you, Ivana, Ego, the Jane Doe, Matt, Rhiannon. We want to thank everybody who came on to be interviewed, and we want to thank everybody who came over and said hello. I never got to do my Alexis Michelle's. Thank you. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe on YouTube and ding the bell for notification. And if you want to listen to us in your headphones or in your car and you don't want to watch us, we're on all of the streaming podcast services, whatever they are. And is there anything that you would like to say, Hailey?
No, got nothing.
All
On
right.
that note.
Yep. Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Bye. Bum, 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 bum.